Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Amy here with Organized Hobbit with a new exciting video, review, comparison type thing on the erasable colored pencils by Crayola. I'm really excited for these ones. I really debated on them because I really didn't know how to use them, or not how to use them, how I felt about them. I've kind of seen a few videos on them, not a ton. There really doesn't seem to be that much exposure on them. Everybody's all about the Crayola super tips these days, which is great. But I was really curious because I primarily sketch with Prismacolor color erase pencils, or if I'm using my mechanicals, which lately has been always, is the Unicolor 0.5 and 0.7. So suffice to say, my curiosity was definitely piqued. One of the big reasons that I was curious was the fact of the price point. When I looked at the difference between Crayola and Prismacolor, which I don't actually have the box, so I have my phone to show you the box, I was really interested to see, and these prices are based in US. When I looked at the 24 set of the Prismacolors, I was looking at $16.99 for 24, which worked out to be 70 cents a pencil. The Crayola ones were $13.45 USD, so 36 at 37 cents a pencil. So already off the top, no other knowledge, these are cheaper. Definitely and mostly, but the drawback to that is these come in open stock, these do not. So that being said, savings where you get it at the beginning is that you get it cheaper for more. However, if you're someone likes to buy individual colors, potentially the Prismacolors might be a better option, because then you can buy what colors you want, how many you want type of thing, whereas this one you're stuck in buying it the sets. The not too bad thing about that is it does come in a couple different sets of 12, 24, and the 36 that I have been able to find. So if you want to just kind of test the waters on these, you don't have to go for the big 36. You can definitely go for one of the smaller sets and try out the pencils. So yeah, I was really excited about these ones. I can't really review anything in terms of packaging because they're both cardboard boxes, and they both actually are very similar in what you see on the packaging. So the front is obviously what your logo is, and then if we flip here a couple pages, the back is very similar. It has just a little bit of information about what they are, and then your color names and a little bit of a swatch. So very similar in packaging. Comparing the physical pencils when you first get them, the Prismacolor pencils are definitely, yeah, I'm lefty, so these are always backwards to me. I gotta put them this way. Prismacolor is definitely a little bit more, I guess, not necessarily professional, but more streamlined. You have the full color of the pencil, other than on the lines here where you can see the color erase logo as well as the color number, the name, and the Prismacolor logo. And I'm sorry, my chair is like doing all kinds of squeaking over here. The eraser itself is just a plain old pink eraser that comes with every single pencil. The color erase is a lot more brighter, which is not surprising since Crayola's logo is bright, bold colors. So again, not shocking that their pencils would come in such a manner. So these are really nice. They're definitely Crayola branded. They are clearly from Crayola. It kind of looks like a big crayon. Wow, that was a hard word to remember. That was terrible. I'm almost embarrassed. But it has the color name, Crayola.com, erasable coloring pencils, and it has a eraser that matches to the actual color number or color name. So the red eraser, red pencil, blah, blah, blah. So that's very exciting. So I had a couple of tests that I kind of did when I was looking at the different sort of things that these could do. So the biggest one was texture, light versus dark, erasing, which I will kind of do on a bigger screen since when I was videoing it didn't really seem that clear. Smudging, again, it was a little bit unclear, but as you can see here, the texture of these are a little bit off. Excuse me. Not in terms of the Prismacolor ones, those are very smooth texture, but the texture of the Crayola ones seems to be more crayon-esque. Like, it definitely feels waxier, even using them, you know, sharpened. I can feel that it's not as nice, it's not as it doesn't glide like a normal color erase pencil does. It definitely gets stopped up on the paper a little bit more, and I don't know if that's just because I have a heavier hand or whatnot, but it is something that I think that you should be aware of, just because it can be a little bit of a pain to work with. I did a couple of sketches with them, and it seemed to be the same throughout the sketches. Then light versus dark, again, when I tried to make a gradient out of them, the Prismacolor was a better gradient. However, it wasn't a terrible gradient. I think that just with these ones, because they're a little bit waxier and a little bit cheaper, it's going to be a little bit more work. That being said, not to be a negative Nelly, to Crayola, their erasers are, to quote Hello Alice, thebomb.com. These erasers are fantastic. They erase way better than the Prismacolors do. So we're gonna show you right now how nice these are. I'm gonna get a nice big swatch. Where's my lovely pen? So this is the Crayola. And we're actually gonna bring you guys down just a smidgy. If I can not knock over my camera, that would be fantastic. Oop. Knocking things over, guys. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, so that is Crayola. And then I'm gonna go Prisma color. And just for the sake of knowing, I mean, you can easily see, and like you can definitely see now what I see about the texture, how completely different they are. So this is the Prisma. So first thing I'm going to do is test their own. Actually, let's do the Prisma first. I think that would be good. Let's test the Prismas first. I like how I'm asking you guys, even though it's my channel. But anyway, so I had to use a different color eraser just because mine are all used up. Even though they're practically terrible in my opinion, I still tend to use them just because, you know, flip a pencil versus grabbing something off my desk or whatnot. So erasing it, I mean, it erases okay. It's not really anything to write home about. You can definitely still clearly see, or at least I can clearly see, the texture. And even working with a white eraser, it doesn't really erase that well either. I mean, again, not terrible, but you can still see it very clear. Now when we're working on the Crayola ones, and we erase, that is a fantastic erase. Like, I can't even see any evidence that my pencil was there other than a small, tiny, heavy-handed line there. And with the white eraser, it's not as nice of an erase. There was a little bit of a, but I think that was more me than the pencils because this black part got rubbed against the paper. But again, it comes off way smoother, way nicer. So, I mean, that is a huge plus to me. The other kind of thing that I was concerned about was I tend to use a lot of Copic ink and Tombow water-based ink over my sketches, and I was really concerned that the products might bleed or smudge more accurately. So I figured on a bigger scale I could test these. I chose the cotton candy because I find like lighter colors tend to be what you see the smudging with more. So just running this over. It does smudge a little bit. I'm not going to lie about that on the Crayola ones. A little bit, but it's not too bad. And I mean, for the sake of, you know, usually what I would be doing is drawing, say, a line and then, you know, coloring up to the line. So there isn't a ton of smudging when it comes to that. In the Prismacolor, or sorry, in the Crayola one, the Prismas, the red did bleed a little bit more, or smudge a little bit more, as did the blue. So I do think that these will smudge more. That being said, because of the waxiness of these pencils, that could be why that these don't. But I'm really curious about these ones, so let's go in with a nice test. The Tombow seems to be fine. Like, I mean, a little bit of smudging on there, but neither one of them really seem to be affected all that much. Like, I mean, a tiny bit, but again, not really anything to worry about. with these ones, so that's really, really exciting. But the biggest, I guess, test is how they sketch. So, I mean, I did a Crayola sketch and a Prismacolor sketch. Definitely got more texture when it came to the quick sketching than these. Do not judge these. These only took like 10 seconds each, so definitely not anything to write home about. But I think that for sketching and whatnot, these would be fine. I definitely think that when it comes to working on something that might become a bigger picture, I might be more inclined to stick with my Prismacolors. However, for the sake of just sketching in your journal and applying maybe a little bit of a background wash, you know, just doing a quick little, trying to find one in here. So like this, for example, just doing a quick sketch and then throwing in some color in the background, I think they would work fine. I think that I may need to revisit these a little bit, not necessarily in terms of my opinions of them, but just to try them out a little bit more, because there seems to be a bit of a learning curve when it comes to these ones, just because of the way that the lead is made inside. If you guys have any questions or any tips or tricks or anything like that in regards to these, because they do seem to be a very separate thing on their own. I don't think that they're very, like, other than the fact that they're both pencils that erase, they seem to have some different properties to them, which is interesting and definitely something to look into. But if I was to be asked, would I buy one or the other, I would say both. Because you know what, at the end of the day, I could definitely use my Copics. I can definitely use my Tombow markers over them. They sketch fine. Yes, you're going to get a little bit more of a texture to your sketch, but that's not necessarily a bad thing as long as you know how to utilize it. I think that as a newbie, you might actually have an easier time using these ones because they are so much smoother and more user-friendly. But I do think that these are a very quality product, and I would definitely recommend them. 4 stars out of 5, and that is my verdict on these ones. So if you have any questions, as I said, please leave a comment down below. Please, as always, like and subscribe. It does help my little channel to grow, and I really do appreciate it. All of my social media links will be linked down below. And before I forget, stay tuned, because they're not for this video, it'll be a video coming. I will be doing a wish haul, and in that wish haul there should be some things coming in that I'm doing for a giveaway. So if you're really interested in a future giveaway, make sure to like and subscribe so that way you can be notified when that video comes out. So thank you guys so much as always for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.